On the 52nd episode of the HatTrick Sports Podcast, we're going to be talking about the Celtics' victory in the NBA Finals. The NHL Stanley Cup goes on to Game 7. We have some MLB news and injuries. We got the top 4 Jason Tatum copying moments after winning the NBA Finals, merch of the week, and we're going to end it off with some Hall of Fame. Yay or nay? Roll it! Welcome to HatTrick Sports, starring your host, Isaiah Carpenter. Bringing you the biggest sports headlines every week. This is the HatTrick Sports Podcast. On episode 52, and we have some NBA stuff. Now, obviously, the NBA Finals ended a few days ago. This is a little bit late, but there's some new NBA news that doesn't just include the NBA Finals. So, obviously, the Celtics win in 5. They took games 1, 2, 3, and 5, and then Mavs obviously destroyed them in game 4 because it was obviously a must-win. But the Celtics come back in game 5 and take the win. Jason Tatum was, it seems like he wanted to win Finals MVP, but Jaylen Brown ended up winning Finals MVP. If you look at the final stats, it will show you that Jaylen Brown deserved it more than Jason Tatum. Now, maybe not in the regular season, but during the NBA Finals, Jaylen Brown definitely had the better stats than Jason Tatum. And Jason Tatum, a lot of people were saying it was unoriginal and corny about everything. You obviously saw him copying everybody in the different ways to celebrate. But we'll get more on that later in the podcast. Jaylen Brown wins Finals MVP. And so we're filming this on Sunday, June 23rd. On Saturday, June 22nd, Boston had their parade for the Celtics winning the NBA Finals. And Jaylen Brown loses his ring. Now, they don't get their official Finals ring until the beginning of next season. But I'm sure they got like a replica or some sort of cheaper ones because obviously they're not going to make one for both the Mavs and the Celtics for how expensive they are. But I'm sure they got a cheaper replica, one that they had made just in case. And he lost that and he's trying to find it apparently. But I know you can't really sell that kind of thing. But it'll be interesting to see if he ever finds her, if somebody returns it to him. Or if it was me, I would probably just, keep it for myself and just have that moment in history, just like sitting in my room somewhere. But, yes, so Jaylen Brown loses his ring in the parade. Tatum copies everyone after the game. You got the 4 things, copying Kanye, which obviously Corey Seager and Alex Bregman did last year in the World Series and winning their division. Copying Steph Curry saying, what are they going to say now? Copying KG with, we did it. Jason Tatum said, we did it. And obviously KG said, anything's possible. And then copying Kobe trying to get that iconic picture, which did not work. Everybody was onto him on all 4 accounts of supposed copying. But other than that, so after the NBA Finals, JJ Redick is the Lakers hired JJ Redick to be the new Lakers head coach. Good for him. A lot of people were saying that he's opened up a lot of doors for a lot of past players, announcers, reporters, and stuff like that. But I think this is just kind of like a one-time thing. Obviously, he's friends with LeBron James, and he obviously played with LeBron. But yes, he signs a 4-year contract. I believe it is the Lakers' 22nd. I want to say it's their 22nd head coach in the franchise, which is a lot of coaches only in the span of like 100 or so years. But yeah, we'll see. He signs for 4 years. We'll see if he lasts that long. But yeah, the contract is for $8 million a year, about $8 million a year for the 4 years, which is good money. I think that's more than what he was making announcing and reporting and all of that. So good for him. We'll see how this works out. A lot of people are skeptical about it. A lot of people are saying this opens, like I said, it opens up a lot of doors for future head coaches. And then a lot of people are saying that this might be the best thing the Lakers have done in a while. But I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Obviously, we haven't seen him as a head coach yet, and we don't know what he's capable of or not. So it's just a matter of time to see if what happens with and about him being head coach. But the Pistons fired their head coach, Monty Williams, with $65 million still left on the table in his contract. So the Detroit Pistons fire head coach Monty Williams just a year after signing it was a record-breaking $78.5 million contract with the franchise. The team announced a few days ago. So yeah, obviously the Pistons weren't any good. I'm going to look up the NBA standings to know exactly what their record was. But the Pistons, obviously not good. They weren't good last season. They were last in the East this season. They were 14-68. They only got 14 wins in a season. That's just absolutely awful. I don't know how one could achieve that. I don't know. 82 games. You play 82 games and you can only win 17% of them. I don't fully understand how bad they can be. So obviously that was the reason why he got fired. But again, you signed this guy to, then it was record-breaking contract of almost $80 million, and you fire him after a year. So bad investment on the Pistons, but again, the Pistons are a bad team, so the story kind of checks out. What else we got? I think that is it for NBA. We are going to go on to NHL. Let's see. So NHL. So the Florida Panthers were winning 3-0. They were going to blow them out. Everybody was sure of it. And then the Edmonton Oilers come back, go boom, boom, boom. And the series at the time of this recording is tied at 3 going on to Game 7. Now, this is a lot of people are thinking that the Oilers are going to come back and just go 4 unanswered games. But then there are some people who are like, hey, we believed in Florida from the beginning. We're going to take them all the way through. And again, winning 4 games in the finals is very, very hard. It's only happened once. Sorry, that hasn't only happened once. Being down 0-3 and coming back to win has only happened once. It happened, one second. The 1942 Maple Leafs versus the Red Wings Stanley Cup Finals. Toronto became the only team in the major North American sports league to complete a comeback from 3-0 down to win a championship series. So this will make, if the Oilers end up winning tomorrow, which is Monday, if they end up winning Monday, they will become the second team and the second NHL team to, again, come back from down 3-0 and win a championship series. So they forced a Game 7. 1942 Red Wings have won the Stanley Cup after being down 0-3. But that's pretty much it for the NHL side. Again, not too much on NHL besides the Stanley Cup. But I kind of think the Oilers are going to win it. They got the momentum. They know that everybody's kind of doubting on them. And they've shown that they've won 3 in a row. What's the difference between 3 and 4? And the Florida Panthers are just lost 3 in a row in this championship series, which again makes it kind of you're down. Your motivation, your momentum is not going up. So you just see this going down, this going up, kind of track. Not good for the Panthers. Not good for the Panthers. I hope the Panthers win, but it's not looking good for them. Let's see who's favored. Who's favored to win Game 7 of the Stanley Cup? All right, let's see. Oh, Florida's favored at -113. Yeah, so this is from Sportsline Consensus. Well, the over-under is 5.5 goals. Okay, so over-under 5.5 goals. Let's see what the past is. All right, let me look up NHL Stanley Cup. So the over-under is 5.5. Scores. I'm going to look up the past scores. So in Game 1, there were only 3. Game 2, there was 5. Game 3, there was 7. Game 4, there was 9. Again, that is when the Oilers... the Panthers kind of gave that away, which could come haunt the Panthers for the rest of their franchise. So, yeah, it's looking like it might be the over. But, again, there's going to be heavy defense. The goalies are going to be on point on both teams, on both sides. But that Game 4, the Panthers kind of gave the Oilers away. Like, the Panthers were like, hey, we'll give them this win. Let's take a rest. And that's going to come back to haunt them here in the next couple days and for the rest of the franchise. But so yeah, we do got the overs for total goals at 5.5. How many goals do I think there'll be? 7. I don't know. 7. 4-3. 4-3 Oilers. That's final. 4-3 Oilers. All right. What else? All right. Flying through this real quick. All right, we got top 4. Now, usually in the last few weeks, I have done top 10, but this week we are doing top 4. Jason Tatum copying moments after winning the NBA Finals. At number 4, we have copying Kanye West. Everybody wants to know what would happen if we didn't win. I guess we'll never know. Obviously, famous quote by Kanye West. You saw Alex Bregman do it after the Astros won their division, and then Corey Seager obviously doing it after the Rangers won the World Series. So again, originality of saying that that's what makes it out of 4. At number 3, copying Steph Curry, saying, what are they going to say now? What are they going to say now? Again, it's not really a well-known thing that Steph has said. It's not super popular. But again, why are you trying to copy Steph Curry? Be original about it. So that goes in at the number 3 spot. At number 2, copying KG. He said, we did it with his hands on his head looking up. We all know what it looks like now. And then, obviously, KG says, anything's possible. Anything's possible. Again, in the same body language and body motion that Jason Tatum and KG were doing it. And then at the number 1, copying Kobe Bryant, trying to get an iconic photo of Jason Tatum with the finals trophy. You see Jason Tatum's little son just looking at him like, what are you gonna doing, Dad? Like, get up, we're trying to celebrate, while Jason Tatum's trying to recreate Kobe's picture of him holding the trophy after he won the NBA Finals. So again, that's a big nay for Jason Tatum. Be more original than that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. And Jason Tatum looks desperate to try to go viral. And it worked, just not in the way that he expected it to work. So there is your top 4 Jason Tatum copying moments after winning the NBA Finals. All right, on to MLB. All right, so one of the sad parts of MLB, one of the most MLB legend, one of the biggest MLB legends, Willie Mays, has passed away in the last few days. He was old. How old was he? He died. He recently died last week, and he was He was not 28. He was 93 years old, so obviously he was old. He was ready to die. But what a career he had. Looking back at his stats, he played from 1951 to 1973. That is a total, 1973 minus 1951. He played for 22 seasons, or through 22 different years, spread out years. And was a 24-time All-Star. Now, he was an All-Star. He was an All-Star. 1948, he played. And then, so in the Negro Leagues, he obviously played in the Negro Leagues. But he wasn't an All-Star when he won Rookie of the Year in 1951. In 1952, he didn't really win any awards. But after that, every single year except for 72, he won he had an All-Star. Or no, he did. He was an All-Star in 1972. He just played for a few different teams. But he just had an amazing career. Again, 24-time All-Star. You don't see that ever now or ever. That is a quarter of a decade that he was an All-Star. He was 2-time MVP. He won MVP in 1954 and in 1965. He was a 12-time Gold Glove. He won Gold Gloves in 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, and 68. He won Gold Glove again 12 times. 2-time All-Star Game MVP. So he was the greatest player in the All-Star Game. That was, what years were that? All-Star Game MVP. All-Star MVP. Oh, he won multiple All-Stars. Yeah, this guy was just insane. Even looking at these stats, he obviously won Rookie of the Year in 1951. Let's see everything that he led the league in. Obviously, this isn't Hall of Fame, yay or nay. I know when I'm talking about these stats, it's usually Hall of Fame, but obviously he's in the Hall of Fame. He won the World Series in 1954 with the New York Giants. At the time, they were in New York, the New York Giants. And, yeah. Let's see what else we got. He played for the New York Giants and then the San Francisco Giants, the New York and San Francisco Giants, and then obviously ended his career with the Mets. Let's see, what was I looking? Oh, yeah. So he led the league in triples with 13 and 19. So I'm just going to go. There's just so many that he led the league in. He led the league in triples with 13 in 1954 and 1955. He led the league in batting average with a 345 in 1954 and slugging with a 666. And again, this is all 54. He had a 1.078 OPS with a 175 OPS plus, and that's the year that he won his first MVP and was obviously an All-Star. This was all in 1954. In 1955, he led the league, like I said, in triples with 13. He had 51 home runs in 1955. He had a 659 slugging with a 1.059 OPS and a 174 OPS plus, leading the league again in total bases with 382 total bases. And in that year, he led the league in all of those, and he came fourth in MVP. In 1956, he led the league in stolen bases with 40. He got caught stealing at 40. Obviously, a lot of stolen bases equals a lot of attempts, which equals a lot of caught stealing. He came in 17th. He only led the league in stolen bases, and he still came in 17th in the MVP race that year. In 1957, he had 20 triples, 38 stolen bases, and again, he got caught stealing 19 times, with leading the league in slugging and OPS plus with a .626 slugging and a 173 OPS plus. He was fourth in MVP race that year. He also won a Gold Glove and obviously an All-Star. He led the league in runs with 121, 31 stolen bases. He only got caught stealing 6 times with an OPS of 1.002, with an OPS plus of 165. He was second. He was runner-up in MVP with a Gold Glove in that year in 1958. In 1959, he kind of took a slow year, even though he was sixth in MVP racing and still two-time All-Star, Gold Glove. He had 27 stolen bases. In 1960, he led the league in hits. I don't know why I did that. He led the league in hits and still came in third in MVP, even though only leading the league in one category. He was an All-Star and a Gold Glove that year. In 1961, he led the league in runs with 129, obviously sixth in MVP, a couple All-Stars, and Gold Glove. In 1962, he led the league in home runs with 49 and total bases with 382, runner-up to MVP once again with a Gold Glove. In 1963, he came fifth in MVP voting, but did not lead the league in anything. He was an All-Star and Gold Glove. He still had some insane stats. 314 batting average, a 582 on base percentage. Oh, no, that's slugging. A 380 on base percentage, and with an OPS of 962. In 1964, he came back with 47 home runs. He led the league in on base percentage with slugging, and with 607, OPS of 990 with an OPS plus of 172. Again, the next year in 1965, he won MVP with 360 stolen bases, 185 OPS plus, on base percentage of over 1, slugging 645, on base percentage of 398 with 52 home runs. And then after that, he didn't lead the league in much. He led the league in walks and on-base percentage with a .425. Just an incredible career that Willie Mays had. Unfortunate to see him pass, but yeah, he was a great, great, great baseball player. What else we got? Oh, yeah. So the Padres sent us some stuff recently. I just opened it up about an hour ago, but I am going to open it up again with you guys on the podcast. And again, make sure to comment, like, and follow for your chance to win this. They sent us a Padres baseball sticker. I'm not sure how good the camera can catch that. A Ha-Seong Kim baseball card. And then we got some Petco Park fun facts and some Padres fun facts, some including some retired numbers, some NL West titles. They have 5 NL West titles. Talking about Joe Musgrove's no-hitter. Talking about Matt Kemp. The retired numbers, obviously, Steve Garvey, Tony Gwynn, Dave Winfield, Trevor Hoffman, Jackie Robinson, Randy Jones. I like, because obviously they can't show any World Series pennants. I like how they show all the NL West pennants that they've won. That's just funny. So, but for your chance to win that, make sure to like, comment, and follow, and we will be sending this out to hopefully a Padres fan. What else we got? Oh, this was just reported probably an hour before we started filming. Bo Bichette's replacement was just suspended for 80 games for violating MLB's PED policy. Let me switch to the tab. Blue Jays Martinez gets 80-game ban for violating PED policy. He was the replacement for Bo Bichette. He was the top hitting prospect for the Blue Jays. Obviously, we now know why, because he had some little steroids. He said it was he accepts the penalty and the punishment, and he is not going to appeal the suspension or anything like that. But again, he's suspended for 80 games, and so now I guess they're going to have to call up somebody else from AAA, because now that Bo Bichette's replacement's down, I guess they got to call up somebody else. So there's that. Okay, here's a hot take. Shohei Ohtani should not be in this year's home run derby if it is up to him. All right, so obviously Shohei Ohtani is worth $700 million for only, 10 years of his life. All right, if you win the home run derby, I believe you win like $1 million in a truck or something. So obviously the 700 million to 1 ratio isn't that, or the 1 to $700 million ratio isn't that big. So it's not worth it for Shohei Ohtani to be in the home run derby. Now I know MLB wants him to, because again, he's the face of everything right now. He's the face of MLB. He's the face of a lot of sports even right now. But if it's up to Shohei Ohtani, I think it's a big liability issue, because, again, you see him right now. He's hitting all these home runs. He has, not in his career, this season he has 23 home runs. He has 23 home runs. Aaron Judge is at the league with 28, and Gunnar Henderson has 24. So he's top 3 up there. He has the best batting average in the league with... what's his batting average? With 321, he's just an incredible player right now. He's hitting home runs left and right, especially like in the last couple weeks. But again, it has been known that you see guys after the home run derby go into a slump, because the home run derby kind of changes their swings. You see them practice too much about hitting power and up, and you just keep seeing pop flies after guys go into the home run derby. So again, I don't think it's worth the $1 million. I don't think it's worth the truck. I think it's a big liability issue if Shohei Ohtani goes into the home run derby. Now, will he? Probably, unless again something happens or he denies it, like I'm trying to explain. But yeah, as a Dodgers fan, I don't like that he has the chance of being in the home run derby, and I'm hoping he makes the right decision in not going in the home run derby. As much as I would like to see him in the home run derby, I do think it is a big liability issue. Again, we don't want to see him slow down. We don't want him to see him flying out to left fields every game for the rest of the season. So yeah, that is my hot take on Shohei Ohtani. On to merch of the week. For today's merch of the week, we have a shirt. It has a strike zone with the ball right outside of it. No one cares how fast you throw ball 4. Now, you see all these guys bragging, especially in college or in youth or even in the MLB. I could throw 98. I could throw 96 in college. I could throw in the high 90s, whatever. Nobody cares as long as it's accurate. Now, if it's accurate and you're throwing that much and you're healthy and you're taking care of your body, hey, go for it. But, hey, if you're just bragging about speed just to brag about speed, it really does not matter in real life or in real games. If you're not locating. Locating is the priority before speed, if that makes sense. So we got that. Shirts now available at shop.HatTrickSports.com for $24.99. Make sure to use code TikTok30 and Insta20 for 30 or 20% off your first order. These shirts are comfortable. If you're a coach, I'm sure you would love to see this. And if you're a guy with the same mindset as me about speed isn't everything, velocity isn't everything, you should get yours right now. ShopHatTrickSports.com. Again, get it for 30 or 20% off your first order. All right, now for my favorite segment, it's time for Hall of Fame, yay or nay. All right, on to Hall of Fame, yay or nay, we have Giancarlo Stanton. Now, Giancarlo Stanton on, let me find his stats. He's been playing since, I think, 2010. He's been playing since 2010. He played for the Marlins, both Florida and Miami Marlins, and then eventually he got traded to or I forget what happened, traded or whatever. When the Marlins gave up everybody, he went to the Yankees in 2018. Now, he has a lot of good career stats, all right? So he's been playing since 2012, so he has 14 seasons under his belt with 44.5 wins above replacement, over 5,800 at-bats, over 1,500 hits, 420 home runs with a career batting average of .259 with almost 900 runs, over 1,000 RBIs with 42 stolen bases with an on-base percentage of .347, 5.27 slugging with an OPS of 874 and an OPS plus of 137. Now, all of that in mind, he led the league in slugging in 2012 with 608. He led the league in home runs with 37, with slugging 555, and total bases with 299 in 2014. He was runner-up to MVP. I believe he was still on the he was still on the Marlins at that time, and that's when he went off. I believe that is when he was in the home run derby. And again, if you guys have never been to the Marlins Stadium, there's like a counter course kind of behind left fields, and then beyond that, probably 100 feet behind the actual fields, there's like the glass windows to obviously see the Miami scape, like the view of Miami. And he hit that in a home run derby. He hit that, shattered the glass, and that was big news because nobody knew that a guy could physically hit it that far. He's obviously jacked. But what else did he lead the league in? In 2017, his last year with Miami, he led the league in home runs with 59. He led the league in RBIs with 132, slugging 631, and then OPS plus of 169. He obviously won MVP that season. Again, if you hit that many home runs, you are going to win MVP. Silver Slugger All-Star that season. And then after that, he never led the league in anything else. He was an All-Star one time after that in 2022. But yeah, he was pretty much DH and stuff like that. But yeah, he's been playing for 15 seasons, and is he a Hall of Famer? That is the question in mind. What's really holding me back is the batting average. Obviously, a .259 batting average is average. Like, that is around the average batting average, and if you're in the Hall of Fame, you got to be better than the Hall of Very Good, and the Hall of Very Good is above the Hall of Average. That's just called the MLB. And then on-base percentage is .347. I feel like that's also kind of low. You want to get on base more than that. Again, if you got to take walks, you got to take walks. I know he has a lot of home runs, over 420 home runs. Again, like I said, he won MVP, 5-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger, Home Run Derby champion, and All-Star MVP. But I think for now it is a nay from me. I don't think that he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. We'll see where his career takes him. We'll see what the writers of MLB say. And again, 5-10 years from now. But for right now, he is not in the HatTrick Hall of Fame. And so yeah. Thank you guys for watching episode 52 of HatTrick Thank you guys for watching the 52nd episode of the HatTrick Sports Podcast. You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Anywhere you see us, you can follow us. Make sure to check out shophattricksports.com. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts, including YouTube and visuals. Again, check out shophattricksports.com. Use TikTok 30, use 20 for 20 or 30% off. And I think that is it. So we will see you guys next week for episode 53.